my phone because I record all my calls and I think it's eating up all of my storage. But I think this is worth going live over. So I've put up an array of pretty fractured videos as far as like telling a cohesive narrative. And I want to just really kind of drive home what happened. Um, hey, Wes, can I have my backpack or that backpack? Can you grab it? Yep. So last night, I was out with my kids at my condo's common area, which has a gas grill and a permanent gas line. Thank you, big guy.
You're welcome.
Running to it, and so our family, as well as another family in our building, we were having a barbecue. Yeah, don't mind my backpack. Kind of cheesy. So anyway, we get done eating, and the kids are just playing horseshoes at the horseshoe pit. And one of the ladies that lives there, decides that it's time to call the police. Now, a little backstory: they call the police on my neighbor every single time he uses the common area. If it's after dark, he gets the cops called on him, which is absolutely insane because he has every right to do that as long as he's not making too much noise. And that's just even in the bylaws of our HOA. So cops get there, and it's this friendly, very large lady with very short hair. You can see it on one of my videos that I uploaded. And she's like, "You guys aren't doing anything wrong. Just keep the noise down. No more loud music." Now, mind you, I had an acoustic guitar and he had an acoustic guitar. Neither of us had picks, so it was finger picked. It was quiet. Okay, we weren't making any noise violations, and it's Saturday night, so we weren't doing anything untoward, you know. And so the cops leave, and you can see the video of the Karen. I hope the cops watch, by the way. I found out today that they do watch my channel. Hello. So the cops leave, and I videoed the Karen, and I got her talking on the phone, and whoever she was talking on the phone with said, "Hey, they have every right to do what they're doing, every right." So 10 minutes go by after that happens, and another cop-looking vehicle shows up. I'm like, what's going on? So this is when the other video kicks in, and I go up to the guy, and I'm like, we're not doing anything wrong. Why are you here? Why do we have men with guns coming into my residence and telling me that I need to go back to my condo? That's insane. Like, I don't just own that condo. I own, the community area too, just as everybody else does. And so he's really just despondent and won't even talk to me. I asked him what time the air closes, and you can see he goes, "Pum, pum." And I said, "Let me grab your name real quick." And he said, "Go ahead." That's the really important thing, because I got denied the ability to press charges today because the cop said that dude was just defending himself. However, he said, "Go ahead," when I said I was going to record his name tag. And so I went to do it, and that's when he swatted my phone out of my hand. And then he took me to the ground. And then he picked up my phone while the camera was still running and threw it. So how was he defending himself when he picked up my phone and threw it after I was on the ground? How is that? Okay? How is he defending himself from a camera to begin with? Because that was his focus, no pun intended. His focus was clearly on just getting the camera away. So if that's considered a threat, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I got armed dudes coming onto my property when I'm doing nothing wrong. I have every right to figure out what the name of that armed person is. Okay? And I have every right to do so without the fear of violent retribution. And then I called the police. I called the police because I want to get a report on file so that when I do press charges or, file a lawsuit, I've got a really good paper trail. So I was told today, and I got this recorded, that I can't press charges. I can't press charges. And they watched my YouTube videos, even though I hadn't even given my last name yet, and my last name isn't even associated with this channel. So I really challenged the idea that if it was any other individual going through the same experience, that person wouldn't be allowed to press charges on the person who put hands on them. For instance, if it was the Karen who called the police to begin with, and she was the one that got injured for trying to record his name, would she be allowed to press charges? I bet you she would. I don't believe this to be equal protection under the law. And I believe I am being treated unfairly. In fact, I know I am. I know I'm being treated unfairly simply because I have a channel that oftentimes focuses on First Amendment issues, as so it should, as so should they. That's the thing. I'm okay. And the other thing, I asked the guy to uphold the law today, the Freedom of Information Act. He has every obligation to pass it to any channel that it needs to be passed to. I requested the body cam footage from last night so I can prove that I did attempt multiple times to file a police report and got rejected. I was told last night that I was drunk and not allowed to file a police report after getting battered by a security guard. And I was told that while I had 6 cops surrounding me and 2 of them were trying to sequester my children, and I said, I'm distracted right now. And because I'm distracted, they took that as me being drunk and denied me the right to file a police report. This place is fucking insane. This place is insane, and it requires a well-regulated solution. I'm just done. I'm just done. Yeah, I got people coming in on my property where my children live, where they ride bikes with guns, threatening us to go inside our homes. This is not an open air fucking prison, people. This is supposed to be the land of the free, not the land of the fee, home of the slave. And I'm kind of feeling like they're treating me like a slave right now. So, here's what I have done. I have reached out to and sent in a detailed document to not only the district attorney here in Plymouth, but also the internal affairs, the same guys that rejected me because they held me to journalistic standards that they didn't find, and because of that they wouldn't take my internal affairs investigation. Anyway, so I sent it to them as well to get denied. So that should come back in a couple of weeks with a big old fuck you on it. And then I also sent it to the Civil Rights Division because this fucking police department keeps just like participating in conspiracies against me. So that's what you get. You shine light on power and speak truth to power, and they don't like that. They come back at you, and that's okay. It just proves my point, and that's really all I want. I'd rather them prove my point when I call them tyrants than me ever win in court, because they look like the tyrants they are, just like that Karen on my video last night looks like the demon that she is, bathed in that red light. That was so perfect, wasn't it? You should, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I urge you to. It was perfect. And the way she pops down. Okay, so I'm standing on the side of her car filming her, and then I go over to the front. And as soon as she looks up and sees me, her head goes, boom. Yeah, a little coward can call the cops, but she can't stick around with a camera. Funny part is, speaking of cameras, everything that happened last night was on cameras, and it was on multiple cameras. I was perfectly in the line of sight. And not only did he break the phone that I'm using, I can't use the other camera very well. He damaged my new to me 1998 Epiphone. Oh man, I love that guitar. So I'm going ham on these people. I appreciate you, one viewer that's sticking around. It's probably the police department, isn't it? Hey. I found, oh yeah, so that's what I really didn't dwell on. I found out from them. So I told them last night that I had everything recorded. And that, yeah, it was. See, now you're gone. I told them last night that I had everything recorded. And so this morning, I had never even given my first or last. Oh, yeah, I did tell you. It was associated. So they've seen the videos on my YouTube channel. Here's a big fuck you to Plymouth police. You know, there's my petitioning my government for the redress of grievances. There's never a problem that police can't make worse, right? So let's go over the amendments. I bet you whatever cop is assigned to watch this channel, and I have the recording, which I'll upload, that they actually do. So remember, people, just because you're paranoid does not mean you're not being watched. Okay? I have proof that I'm being watched by the police, by the local police. Check this out. Cute little helicopter going above our heads. What is that? I wish I knew helicopters. Huh. Anyway, I'm just wasting time now. Have a good day, everybody. Have a wonderful day. How do I get out of here? Baduya.